Ramana Maharshi's words are deep and direct. My comments are intended to bring his deep words into your experience. Use YouTube's closed captions to read along. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book's Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. These were dialogues recorded by Major Chadwick from 1935 to 1939. This week is talk number 111. Let me get it on screen. A Telugu gentleman asked about Brahma bhavana, and Maharshi said, not to think I am Brahman or all is Brahman is itself jivanmukti. He asked about inspired action, and Maharshi replied, let activities go on. They do not affect the pure self. Bhavana means cultivating. So the question is, how do I cultivate the sense that I am Brahman? Ramana's response is pretty radical, I think, responding to the underlying frame of reference instead of telling the gentleman how to best think about Brahman. He instructs not to think at all. That's the best way to cultivate Brahman, not through thought at all. If it's not through thought, though, then how do you do it? How do you cultivate Brahman? Not through thought means experientially, with experiential knowledge. Experiential knowledge, or direct realization, refers to the direct experience of Brahman beyond words and concepts. Experiential knowledge is only known through direct experience. Experiential knowledge is not something that can be acquired through study or intellectual understanding, but requires a direct and immediate realization of your true nature as Brahman, not the body, not the mind, not the ego, but the self, the one self, the only self that is. The method Ramana recommended for experiential knowledge is self-inquiry, or atma-vichara, investigating the nature of the self, your ideas about your own identity, and questioning the reality of the ego. By constantly questioning, who am I, and investigating the source of your thoughts and feelings, you can gradually come to realize the true nature of the self as Brahman, that is always present, even as mind, body, and ego change and come and go. Another way to see this experiential knowledge is what comes from the direct knowledge of existence. Like you know that you exist without sensing it or thinking about it. You know it by being it. Other practices that are helpful in attaining experiential knowledge of Brahman include meditation and yoga and devotional practices such as chanting or prayer or surrender. Ultimately, however, full experiential knowledge of Brahman is said to depend upon the grace of the divine and cannot be achieved through your own efforts alone. So it is not something that I do. I can ready the ground, but I can't make it bloom. Practice and inquiry prepare the ground. If you are full of yourself, it will never bloom. Then, when asked about action, Ramana likewise says the best action is no action, to just let activities go on. No action actually touches you. Action is done by the body, for the body. Are you a body? If you're not a body, are any of the actions of the body your action? If you're not a body, what does this do to your sense of agency? Are you the doer? Are the actions your actions? Do you do them? This is something that I still struggle with. So Ramana tells us no thought, no action, just direct experiential knowledge, knowledge of being as being itself. These videos help bring Ramana Maharshi's teachings into your direct experience. Subscribe now to help you deepen your understanding and practice to know the self. Just click the subscribe button.